And welcome back to the Off the Clock Show. Joined once again with Shawn Gervais from OrbisX CRM, as well as Marshall Hill from the Pints and Polishing Podcast and hyperClean Car Care Products. And since I brought up hyperClean Car Care Products, I have a story that I would like to share while I open this episode. So recently, just because Shawn doesn't have enough shit on his plate, we decided to open another business. And so we opened another business. This is number 9 now, but it was to help a buddy. He was looking for a job and he wasn't sure what he could do. He put out resumes like crazy, just wasn't really anything out there. Don't get me wrong, there were jobs, not the kind of money he's going to need. Okay, let me put it that way. So I was talking with him and he was stressed out, frustrated, and we wanted to start something else anyways. We always try and launch something that ties in with our other businesses to some capacity every year. And I was talking with him and I said, well, hey man, why don't I just make you a job? He's like, what do you mean, make me a job? I said, well, if you work for someone else, at the end of the day, you go high enough up the ladder, you get to the top. And so why don't you just start at the top of the ladder? I said, I'll own the company technically, but you'll sweat equity, work your way into it. So you'll have a job technically in the beginning. And then eventually you'll be the one that takes that over. And I just retain a percentage and we get our kickback and life is cool, right?
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing we try and do. And that's what I've done with, like Auto World and my other companies as well, is we just try and start something, find some good people, get them to run it, take it over, and that frees up a chunk of my time in the end. Makes sense, right? So got him a job, built him a job, and basically we launched this gutter cleaning and window cleaning business. And then he's already out there, boom, ladders on roofs, everything. Like he's just going hard. And it just, starts with me taking all the tips that we've been giving ourselves, taking all those things because they apply to any.
Oh, so many different. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's not
Mhm.
specific to automotive. It's none of those things. So anyway, launched this company, built the website quick. The coolest thing about it too, I had AI throw together 90% of the website.
Mm.
So yeah, you just have to tell AI a little bit about the industry you're in, company core values, things like that. Just give it a couple prompts and then say, make me a page on gutter cleaning. Make me a page on this or that. Proofread it, of course, but then put it up. I'm telling you, man, it did a better job than most of the writers I've ever worked with. It was just probably because it's using words and stuff from all these writers. But anyway, long story short, get him this business set up. He's out there, boom, he's cleaning gutters, everything like that. We're using OrbisX, of course, as the back end. And the compliments have just been amazing from the customers. They're loving it. And they're like, geez, the process is so amazing. And it goes to show you, because we're not the first gutter cleaners here, there's other gutter cleaners. It just
Sure.
shows you, though, how many people haven't realized that they are in a digital world and I do everything the old school way, pen and paper. It's like, yeah, well, that's nice, but someone's going to come around and just wipe you off the face of the earth, and that's what's happening now is that this company's already growing at similar kind of pace as when we started Auto World. But something cool that happened is he was asking me because he actually watches some of our episodes, and he said, well, I want to know like some stuff that I can do when I'm out there in the field that I'll be able to, like upsell customers or something like that and everything. And I said, well, listen, my tip for today for everybody, but also my tip for him was you have to focus on 2 words, yes and no. There's going to be times in business where you're going to want to say yes, and you'll probably say yes when you should have said no. That's going to come true when you're hiring people, things like that. If you've got a team, if you,
Absolutely.
you say yes to the wrong person because you just can't say no, you're actually doing a disservice to the whole rest of your crew,
Mm.
your business, everything, your customer interactions, just by saying yes to that person. So sometimes you have to say no. But other times you got to say yes. That whole thing where,
Mhm.
oh, customer asks for this and we don't really do it. Just say yes to everything, help them out. It's true to a degree, but you can also create your own yes. And so sometimes the customer is not asking any questions, but you want to get to yes of something. And so I was talking with this guy and he's out there and I was like, all right, Will, listen, you're out there on this guy's roof. He's trusting you to work on his house. For a lot of people, that's their biggest asset. Next one would be
Mhm.
car.
Right.
Trusting someone with your house, that's even, oh, it's a big deal for a lot of people, right? And so I said, listen, you've already got him to say yes to that trust. You're showing up, you're going to clean the gutters, clean the windows, life is good. I said, so ask him some other questions to create some yeses. So the reason we're here cleaning your gutters is because, you have a tree next door and it's just filling everything up. Well, it's not just falling on your house. So is it falling on your paths and your walkways? Is there anywhere else that, maybe you want me to just kind of give it a quick broom while I'm there? And, it'll be nice when your wife gets home. She'll be like, oh my gosh, look at my property. And so sure enough, he asked that question and the guy says, yes. He says, yeah, but now I'm doing something for free for the guy. I said, no, 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 sort of. What you're doing is an exchange. You're building the relationship. You've now got him to say yes twice. Once to book the appointment and once for a special favor that you're going to do for him. It's going to take you 30 seconds. You already have the broom in the truck. Just broom off the patio, broom off the steps. Life is good. He's happy. But when you're up there now, you're doing his gutters, you can ask him a few questions, like, oh, if you want this to not have to happen all the time where you're having this big buildup of stuff, we can get you on a maintenance plan. How would you like that? Would you like to see my ugly mug around here, every 3 months? And so work in the maintenance plan. Take a look at the house and see if there's other aspects of it. So he looks at the guy's house and he sees he has skylights. He's like, I see you got 3 skylights there and they're sitting right underneath where that tree is. Bet you get a lot of sap up there. What's the guy say? Yes. Perfect. Now you've got your 3 yeses. So he says, listen, what we're going to do, we're going to get you on a maintenance plan. So we're going to be here all the time. You'll always have perfect light coming through your skylights. You're never going to look up and be like, oh, geez, look at that. Horrible. It's going to look pristine. And as part of that process, what we're going to do is we're going to put on a coating. So we're going to put on a glass coating on your skylights. So what it's going to do is it's going to reduce the time that we're actually on your property. So you'll barely even see us. We're just going to come in, get it done. It'll be easier to maintain. You can maintain it yourself as well if you prefer, but I'm sure you want a young guy like us up on the roof, things like that. So he worked this all into his pitch. He calls me later. He's like, man, he bought everything. He said he bought it all and tipped me $30 on top. So I was like, yeah, that's what happens. So see, you weren't brooming for free. You know what I mean? You offered a little bit, but what you're after is those yeses. But the customer's not just going to come out and tell you, oh, by the way, I've got 3 skylights up there. They're driving me crazy. And does something like a coating exist that I could maybe apply on there? He's not going to ask these questions. So talking with him, I said, listen, I'm going to give you a bottle to walk with. I gave him a bottle of your glass, the spray bottle of the glass cleaner, number 1. And then number 2, the glass coating. And he was like, yeah, but like, how hard is this going to be to apply, And I did tell him, he's got to, travel to another state and he's got to do a, 3-weekend training and get a certificate at the end. No, I'm just kidding. Told him super simple to apply, obviously, super simple to maintain. And now he's got this guy on the books every 90 days. He's going back there and all from creating a yes. And while this may not be automotive related specifically, the exact same principles apply. And by giving you an example, a real world example of how this applies in a different industry, you're going to see like, holy crap, they're using automotive products on something that doesn't have 4 wheels. That's crazy. And it's not, it's the same business principles. So if you can focus on those 2 words, say no in instances where you're going to say yes and you shouldn't, and create yeses in instances where there's not even a question being asked. That's my tips.
Nicely done.
Done. Thank you, sir. Yeah.
Done? Wow. Just
Oh,
right at it, huh?
The name of the, absolutely, just put it right in. Name of the company, by the way, RHM Ottawa. And the reason RHM is because it's regular home maintenance. So every time we talk to the customer, regular home maintenance. We take care of the little things, the odds and ends that you don't want to do that need to get done on a regular basis. So by putting in regular maintenance, that's all they need to hear. You know what I mean? So see, little thought goes into it. Didn't call it like, Shawn's gutter cleaning or something, went with something that tells the customer exactly what we're there for. We're not here
Majestic clean.
Yeah, exactly.
Apologies if somebody has that name.
Yeah,
you can't, right? You can go through and it is funny and it is always interesting. Actually, there was a moment where I always used to really enjoy looking at everybody's different names, right? Like, oh, that's creative. Oh, that's good. But then I realized people spend so much time
on the name,
focused on the name, and you go,
it's true.
I get it, man. It's a good name. Like,
yeah.
Tip of my hat to you. Like, simmer down now. Simmer down.
Yeah, exactly. I remember that episode. Yeah, look up Donna Summers in the phone book. How's it spelled? Summer Donna. Slow it down. Stretch it out. Simmer down. Exactly. Simmer down now. Sorry, that was a terrible rendition, but it was a great episode. The guys listening that are too young to remember that, are like, what are we talking about?
No clear. And that also comes from Saturday Night Live.
Mhm.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
old church
that's
lady.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. That's what I
Mhm.
remember. Yeah,
Oh, that's the same for you. So for me, yeah,
yeah,
is
yeah.
she's up there, she says, simmer down now, simmer down, simmer down.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And but the same one, there was another like another skit, same thing, continuation,
Mhm.
where they used a phone book and it was like, now look up Donna Summers in the phone book. How's it
Yeah.
spelled? Because the name is reversed, right? Yeah, yeah. Good times,
Yeah,
man.
I love it. Good. All right, my tip today comes from something I see quite a bit where people will
Mm.
ask about hey, put out my list, my menu. Hey, everybody tell me, what do you guys think of my packages?
Ah,
Always great feedback, always um, questionable feedback, always feedback.
yeah, a lot of mixed. Yeah, yeah.
Just call it feedback.
Yeah, yeah.
And I I've wondered why people necessarily have to have a menu and have to have all these packages.
Mm,
And now, I mean, you go SEO and you go some logical reasons that you do have to have some packages,
mm,
right? And that's where I want to go. You do need to have some. There becomes a hang up though. And the hang up arises as I actually learned when I would go in at a time in my career. I was a vendor for a very popular, but not popular among detailers, a F&I office sealant that
yeah.
we sold paperwork, right? It is what it is. And that's what I sold back then. I sold the paperwork. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, it's a great business, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot, like, it's wonderful. We had a great time selling through the finance offices. A great time.
Yeah, yeah.
It always was interesting in the different finance offices because of it, and it depended on who their finance products came from. Now that means like Dent. That means that aftercare. It means also the one from the bank financing. I mean, it all kinds of stuff in that one Gap, right? There's all these different add-ons that go inside the finance office, and there can be some select groups that allow a, a way to sell through a menu.
Yeah.
There's others that go and they position the menu and you kind of choose your own, right? Like there's different ways that the finance companies teach the people
Mm,
in the box, right? Inside the box. Now, detailers all want to know package. It's my package. So I started thinking about this when I had a customer that came up.
mm.
This was a referral, and the customer needed a detail.
All
Great.
right.
Happens a lot, right? You can do this from a web page interaction. You can do this from social media. You can do this face to face, whatever. Everybody wants a detail.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. I want to say, as my tip, stop putting in all this, what you're going to do, and you need to have a
Door jam,
package,
steering wheel.
right? And I don't even, I mean, that's a no
Madness.
brainer, right? That's a no brainer.
Yeah.
But I would say there's probably also detailers that don't do that and then have like 8 different packages.
Mm, yeah.
Not just that they list, right? And you're right. There's times that they
Oh,
list
yeah.
all these things. You go, come on.
Yeah.
But then there's a lot, they'll also have like 8 packages.
Mm-hmm.
And I just go, what if you just simplified it?
Oh, that's
What
key.
if we do a detail and then uh I don't know, buffing and coating, whatever you want to
Yeah.
call it. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't really even need more than just a couple. Hey, so and so said you guys do a detail, or hey, how much for a whatever the question about the detail. So
Yeah.
yes. Well, what is it? How much is it? Well, what do you need?
Yeah.
Hmm. So this is why I think so many people love to have packages. Is the same reason why the finance companies, excuse me, teach to go through and sell off of a menu.
Mm-hmm.
Most people are anxious about that moment of trying to quote unquote sell.
Yeah.
And so if you have somebody that needs a detail, you find out what their detail is and what they need and what their budget's going to be. Wait, that seems pretty difficult.
Yeah.
Seems probably easier to just sell off of a menu.
Yeah.
There it comes up, got a detail booked. Hi, need a detail? Yep. So what do you need?
Yeah.
Here's where you'll find
Better
the
approach.
word detail, and they'll stumble for just a second. Kind of look at like, no, sir, I get it. Detail means different to a lot of people. What is it that you need in your detail?
Mm-hmm.
And then the light bulb goes off. So
Yeah.
I want people to rewind, write that down, follow that script, and really push them to explain what they need.
Yeah. What does that mean to them?
You'll find that you can have a general idea of $200, 400, whatever you want to say, right? Because you need to have a package, but that package needs to be very generalized. This guy, hey, you know, we've been borrowing this car and we got to just get it back looking great. So you're not looking for buffing. You don't need anything scratches. What did I just eliminate?
A lot of stuff that might have been in a package that they didn't even want or need, and they would have felt like they're paying for it. Yeah. That's something that happened with us in the beginning a lot.
I let them choose their package. Yeah. And then what do we love? Once they've done it, great. Looks right. We'll get you handed up. You're looking at about this much. Hey, and I know you mentioned.
Mm.
And now we go into the upsells.
That's where you exactly.
So you let them cut out what they don't need.
Yeah.
And then you build in whatever. All right. Well, after you said you needed this, this, and this, we're looking at $300. And it's going to take us X amount of time. We've got you booked. We'll see you in about on the way. Now, not everybody loves to not have prices already solidified. Yeah, so I get it. So I'm not, everybody's going to have that little part different. My tip, the overall point of the tip,
nice,
is allow yourself that opportunity to, yes, sir, detail, define it. What do you need?
Yeah.
And that's where you can really start to build your package. Your package will then be what the customer needs. And then you can eliminate what is not needed and you can add in what is needed. Absolutely. They might think that $200 that, listen, they're getting a steal for what you consider a wash and vac.
Yeah. 100%. And that's where you'd be amazed how often that happens too. You know, absolutely. And what we had is, well, one thing to build on your tip as well, forgive me, but one thing to contribute is that whenever you find out what they say they want, and then when you ask that pertinent question, which you had asked, like, are you sure you don't need, you know, like a buff this or scratch that, you know, when they tell you like, no, I don't need that, note that down as well, that they said they didn't, because then when you inspect the vehicle, when it comes in, if you notice there's maybe one scratch somewhere, maybe they said no because they're like, I can live with the one scratch. I don't want the whole car to be done because it's going to cost me God knows what, right? But then when you see that one scratch, you could say, hey, I could take care of that one scratch for you if you want. I know you're not interested in having the whole car done, but I could do that one scratch for, you know, $50 or something, you know, just throw something out.
And here's where I think I love this idea because it allows you flexibility in your schedule to do what you can for this customer.
Mm-hmm.
Now, does his car need more that I saw? Did I really want to do
it? Yeah, it's true.
Maybe I don't. Right?
See how you feel that
right day. I need the work. I think I'm
Mhm.
speaking for most listeners, right? Like, hey man, sometimes I want to go in after this guy because, you know, hey sir, you know, I know you said you don't have scratch, but listen, I'm looking at these car wash marks. Like, you see this, right? And that starts that upsell if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I can also walk away knowing I've put a spot into my schedule that met a customer's need, and I'm going to make good quality money on it.
Yeah.
If I wanted to upsell them further, I could
Yeah.
upsell them further, right? You go into the polish to compound to, how much protection, right? And you follow that. Or got very simple packages that allow flexibility for my
Yeah.
schedule and their schedule for what they need and what I need.
Yeah. It's true. Because you might find your day's got, 14 jobs in it, and you're like, well, let me just bang this one out and do exactly what this guy asked for, and then that's it.
Get that. Could you try again?
AI is taking over. Sound is good? You can't
Now
hear
we
it?
go.
Oh, okay. There we go. I don't know. That was strange. I heard like it sounded like a
Siri.
Siri or something. Yeah, yeah. There was something.
So I think while I was talking, I saw her click on, but then for some reason while you were talking, she muted you. And I was like,
Yeah.
the fuck?
She's like, he's had enough tips today.
Yeah. Cutting you guys off.
Yeah. Oh man, AI stuff is real quick on that note. Have you ever seen those videos where they have like Alexa talking to Google or something like that, and they're having a full-on conversation together? It's crazy. And so I was talking to one of my coders, Jeff, and I said, man, it'd be nuts. We have AI right now. What if we used the AI and we duplicated it, and then we had the AI train the AI by judging its like responses and things like that. And then we could have another AI train the AI that trains the AI. Man, anyways, we could go into a whole thing, but it's doable. So anyways, on that note, we put a little mini test to the test, and in preparation for things like Father's Day is coming up, there's other big holidays that are going to be coming up. I think a big thing that detailers struggle with, or businesses in general, is creating content quickly in a way to respond to, okay, we want to put together a campaign for this holiday, but shit, it's in 3 days. What do we do? Right. And now you either have to involve a big expensive agency, you've got to this and that. Sometimes you just need something that's
Well,
real
they
quick.
punt it.
Yes. And
They
so,
punt it by putting out, oh, like me, let me go ahead and say what I used to do. And I would throw together stuff
yeah,
just to get it out.
just to get it out. Yeah. Just to
Guilty
check
is
it off the
charged.
list.
Guilty is charged. And I
Mhm.
know there's listeners that would fall in the same. They wish that they had some, or they think, but really isn't
Yeah.
AI to make it for you. Oof.
Yeah. And so this
That's
is
like
where
cheating, isn't it?
I think it very much is. Yeah. It's like fishing with dynamite. So our AI just put together as a test campaigns for Father's Day, and it also created A/B testing to send out different ones and sent them to us to see which we would respond better to so that it
Oh,
can get better. Now, not only did it create content, it created images. So Father's Day, everything was Father's Day themed. One of them even had a car on a golf course, and the sunset was, setting behind it. The images just looked amazing. And reality is, it took all of 30 seconds, and it was just done. It had call to actions in there. There was, stuff about book now. There was all kinds of stuff, and it wasn't geared to fathers specifically, because you're not going to send it to a father for Father's Day. It was geared to the children and the spouses. And so each one was tailored depending on the demographic it was sending to. And the cool thing is with OrbisX is that because we have AI and we've had it from day one, we know the genders of each client that you add in, the leads, everything like that. It factors in things like their approximate ages, so on and so forth. It even does like cool stuff. Like if someone's got a junior in their name or something, it'll be like, probably has a father somewhere. You know what I mean? And so it'll put in things like, you should get this for, Mr. Whatever senior or something. So
hey,
it
when do you get to have the scanner that you don't have to input all the stuff? You can
Mm,
just say, sir, can I see your license real quick? And you just,
yeah,
and
yeah,
it just
yeah.
inputs all their information.
You know what? I could get that done in a week. Interesting. I like that. Yeah. It just grabs all their stuff. I like that because we're already reading their license plates. And we're already reading the VIN from the windshield, not just scanning the barcode on the side like a lot of other apps do. We do that, but we also have AI that reads the letters from the windshield. 'Cause sometimes you get a car and the barcode is just messed up or who knows
Mhm.
what. Some of them even, it's strange, but we've had some primarily Hyundais, but they're not supposed to, but they add like a little bit of extra info in the barcode. They're not supposed to, but they do. And so it'll add like a model code or something at the very end. And then so when you scan it, you have to actually like delete those characters. Pain in the ass. So that's why we initially built the other one. But
so in the southern part of North America, we call that Hyundai.
oh yeah. You're always on
For
me
those
about my
listening,
pronunciation.
needed some translation. They
Needed
were
such a,
curious, like, what the hell is he talking about?
what did I say? Hyundai.
You're in the southern part of North America, that's called Hyundai. If you're in
Hyundai.
the northern part of
Oh,
North
shit.
America, that's called
Hyundai. Oh shit. I put the little karate kick in it. Hi. Yeah. That's what it was. It was damn Hyundai, huh? Wow, look at that. Okay, jeez. So Volkswagen? No, I'm just kidding. That was a joke. But yeah, man, that's awesome. But yeah, that's a great idea actually about the AI reading that. Because see, that's the thing. So we're in the process, we're in the tail end. We've got like 2 weeks left of this massive server switch that we've been doing to this new network. Primarily so that it can support things like the new advancements with our AI and stuff like that, because the computing power needed is just massive. But anyway, so there's cool stuff, and that's where we just finished the receipt stuff. So you can take a picture of your receipt, and it'll take the total, tax, all that stuff, and just put it in your expenses. Because there's one thing I know people hate doing is entering in expenses. I figured the easier we could make it for people, the better, and yeah, so that's definitely doable, and that's something that I think we should do. Absolutely. But yeah, I'm pretty amped up for this too, with the AI and the images and stuff, because it's going to help
that's
a
really
lot
cool.
with people to be
A
able to.
lot of people.
Yeah, like because we already have our mailer now, so you can
Mhm.
build your own custom email templates, and now you'll be able to with one click. Because what our AI does right now looks at your customer list, and it'll send you a message and say, "Hey, such and such event is coming up. Would you like to send this
Is
message
there a
to?"
button that I click to start all that?
No, it just happens automatically. I know, right? And so if you don't do it, I mean, I don't know what else to do for you. Like, I mean, we brought you to the water. You just got to take a sip. That's it,
Mhm.
So it's
That's awesome.
yeah, thanks, man. But
Awesome. July
the next
4th,
phase,
all that good stuff. Yeah, those would be good times to let
exactly.
AI send out emails.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's
so there's going
awesome.
to be two components here too to wrap this part up, is that one, it's going to assess how other people's campaigns did, and then they'll be able to actually turn their own campaigns. If your campaign is successful, you can actually turn it into a template that other detailers could then purchase from you, and they'll be able to use it to send out, knowing that it was a high converting template, right? So it's kind of like how the community can all come
Hey.
together to help each other. And one step further to that is we're taking a look at your highest performing customers, and then you'll be able to select that as a separate list. Be like, my most frequent visitors, my highest converting, my most likely to convert, based on if their profile is most similar to ones that are purchasing often from you. So if you've got someone that, hey, this group of people are always buying, maintenance plans, people that drive, whatever, Volvos or whatever it is. If there's some similarities, the patterns, the AI will be able to help you find those customers, and then you'll be able to target them specifically with email campaigns. So
Cool.
that's where,
That's good.
yeah, there's some cool shit coming, man.
I'm
It's,
looking forward to it.
yeah. I'm excited, man. But awesome, man. Well, listen, thanks again, man. This was great. Did some quick tips today. That's what it was. It was, oh, actually, sorry, last thing, and I'll be very brief. I found a post of the week. I have to give this guy a shout out.
Oh,
So
yeah.
he's a member, Dylan Baldridge. And so he posted, hold on, let me read this. I'll share it in the group after so you can see the image, but it's a picture of him just cleaning a car outside of his shop. And all it says is it takes maybe 5 minutes max, and it helps keep the shop open. And then there's a link to leave him a 5-star review. And so that's all he had posted. And I was like, man, well done, man. Because so many people, they just wait until the job's done and then cross their fingers, and they're like, okay, they got the message, they're going to leave a review. And often they do, but often they don't, right? Dylan, he's taking that proactive approach. Anyway, so I had to say hats off to him. I think that, pushing for reviews in all facets, some people see it as like begging. Like I'm like, oh, begging someone to like me kind of thing. Hell no. The impact it does for your business, and if you keep putting it out there, it's just like your ads. People have to see it a few times sometimes before they actually take, the time to do it. Sometimes they just need that push. Like this one got me, man. I'm not even a customer of his. He's a customer of mine. I almost wanted to leave him a review because I was like, Jesus, man, that got me. It was like, helps keep the shop open. Think if you're a customer and you're like, I chose a service provider. I went through the effort of, disqualifying other ones and choosing this one. I want them to stay open. I want you to service my vehicle. And so if I can leave a review and it's going to help you out. So anyway, hats off. He did a really good job on that. Absolutely. But anyway, all right, there we go. My shout outs are done. Drop some tips. We're good. There we go. Yeah, exactly. But appreciate you as always, Marty. And we'll see you next week, guys. Check out Pints and Polishing Podcast and be sure to check out hyperClean products. Definitely. And I can attest that they work for all industries as well, not just the automotive sector. So if you're slow and you don't have any cars in the shop right now, maybe go see if some people need some coatings on their skylights or their showers or whatever. Man, universal.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Appreciate it.
Right on, man. Absolutely, man. I'll see you next week. Cheers.